Welcome everybody to the Culture Exchange Podcast, episode 3. And today I want to structure the episode around 3 major topics. The first topic is going to be how I personally invest. The second topic is going to be a COVID update for the USA. And third is going to be world news. So we're going to just zoom out from the USA and go outside of our little bubble and see what major things are happening in different parts of the world, because there are huge events that have been occurring and haven't reached the news outlets here in the USA. We're going to go over that. So the first topic is just how I personally invest. I cannot give you any personal investment advice because I am not a financial advisor. I am not licensed. However, I am able to tell you how I personally invest my money into the stock market. So you don't have to really be intimidated by the stock market, because I for sure was one of the most intimidated people when I looked at the stock market, because I didn't understand how it worked. And then I started to read up on it and figure things out as I went. So I have a free Fidelity account that helps me invest every couple of weeks. When I get paid, I invest a little bit of my paycheck into the stock market. However, if your day job doesn't give you a free Fidelity account or free investing account, you are able to set up an account with a website or a company called Vanguard, and you do it at vanguard.com. They'll help you through that process. Their Vanguard has been around for ages. I trust them because I've only heard good things from them. So we're going to just head into how I personally invest. And the first thing is going to be tech. Tech is going to be the future of investments. I don't know if you guys have been following Tesla stock over the past few months of the pandemic, because in March it went down to something like 500 or 600. Yeah, that's expensive. That's the price of a new iPhone. I get it. But now you look at the stock July 9th, it's edging to $1,400. So that's more than doubling your money in less than 6 months if you had invested into Tesla during the pandemic. And if you did, bravo, hand clap for you. Technology is the future, whether you like it or not. You could not be into technology. You could not have a cell phone or any computers or anything, but believe it or not, it is the future. So you see this thing here. For the people that are listening on the podcast, I'm holding up my Samsung smartphone. The first stock I want to talk about is, well, technically there's only be 2 stocks. It's Samsung, because they make everything. They make TVs, they make sound bars, they make appliances. I'm looking at my Samsung appliances in my kitchen right now. They literally make everything. And if you can afford one share of Samsung stock, go for it. And the other stock I'm going to talk about, or I would personally recommend for myself, is Apple. I mentioned Samsung before Apple because Samsung makes their displays and some of the other minor components for the iPhones. So in a way, Samsung is making Apple successful, and Apple just dropped a bombshell maybe about a week or so ago that they are going away from Intel chips inside of their computers to their own chips. And over the next year or so, Apple is going to be poised to be one of the largest tech companies. If they aren't already, they might. I believe, yeah, they're a $1 trillion company. Yeah, they're the biggest tech company, I guess, besides Samsung, obviously. But I digress. I want to also touch on how I invest. So the way that I invest is I look at the world and I look at people. I see what are people's needs. People on Earth are going to need 2 things: food and transportation, and also beverages. So like water, soda, alcohol. Those things are going to be consumed. Those things are consumed on a daily basis. So you should look into companies that you consume their product personally. Like I eat Beyond Burgers and Impossible Burgers whenever I get the chance, because I'm trying to get into the vegetarian lifestyle. I would invest into Beyond Meat if they have an IPO. An IPO is an initial public offering, so that's when the company decides to list their company in the stock market for you to invest in. I would invest into First, Beyond Meat. Second, Impossible Meat or Impossible Burgers, if they even have an IPO. I don't think they have one yet, because you still cannot purchase Impossible Burgers or Impossible Patties everywhere yet. And the next thing I want to touch on how I invest is I look into the future. So what's going to be good, like dope in the future? What's going to be dope? So what's going to be dope is going to be renewable energy. So solar panels, battery storage, electric vehicles, invest in those companies. I want to say, I would just say renewable energy. If you can try to invest into renewable energy companies like Solar City, Tesla, do it. If you can afford their stock, go for it, because it's going to be worth a lot more in the future. I had only wish that I could go back in time when Tesla was still around $276 per share. That's when I first got into Tesla. I wish I had just bought a crazy amount of shares, because Elon has been talking about doing a stock split, which means that they split the existing stock and stock holdings into multiple shares, thus decreasing the amount of money needed to invest per share so people can try to invest in their company. I hope they make a very informed decision before they do that. I would love to purchase more Tesla stock, but at $1,400 per share, it's not going to happen. The last thing that I would personally invest in are marijuana stocks. I want to say this because they are going to make marijuana federally legal coming soon. They have to make it legal federally, because all these states in the US, they're making laws that are legalizing recreational marijuana. It's still not federally legal, which doesn't really make sense to people that live outside of the USA. But what it basically means is, as long as you're in a specific area, a state, a city, you had to be in a state that is legal recreationally to smoke marijuana, and you can do it in your private place. So in your home, that's pretty much like just in your home pretty much. And if you even neighbor a state that where it's also legal, like I'm in Nevada, I border California, obviously, you cannot cross state lines with that marijuana, even though they're legal in both states. It doesn't make sense, no, but it is a reason why we need to make marijuana federally legal. And once marijuana is made federally legal, you'll be able to cross state lines with your marijuana and just be free with it, just like people do with cigarettes nowadays. Okay, so the next big topic is going to be COVID-19, and just giving you guys an update on the amount of new cases that they're having in the top 5 states. And the top 5 states are Florida, California, Texas, Arizona, and Georgia. And in the past 7 days, these 5 states have recorded the most growth in coronavirus cases, which is a bad thing. First, with Florida, they have 70,695 cases in the last 7 days. So if you do the math, that's 10,000 new cases per day. California comes in a smidget under 70,000 at 66,551 new cases in the last week. Texas has 60,578. Arizona at about half that at 29,399. Georgia comes in at number 5 in the US at 22,599 new cases for the week. That is crazy. So please do not ignore the risk of COVID-19. Wear your mask, stay socially distant, 6 feet minimum. You can stand further away if you want. But please, everyone, please be safe out there. It's a really crazy time we live in right now. If you haven't been tested, please get tested. I will link a company called Pixel. They're owned by LabCorp. They will actually send you overnight a COVID-19 test for free if you have health insurance. And then when you do the little nasal swab test like you saw in my previous video, if you haven't seen my previous video of me getting a COVID-19 test here in Nevada, go see it. I'll link it as well with the link to this at-home test. So what Pixel will do, they'll send you the test overnight. You do the swab test, you put the swab in a little tube, mail it back off to them. It's there the next day, and they give you results within I believe another day. They received my own test kit. They haven't given me my results yet, but I want to get tested a second time just to see, just to double check and to see if this stuff actually works. I want to try it out for myself before I tell other people about it. That's just me. That's how I do. And please be safe and go get tested. Companies are making it extremely easy to get tested. So if you're not trying to get tested, that's your fault. And you should be trying to get tested because you don't know if you're positive or negative. You could be asymptomatic and not show any symptoms and still be contagious. Please go get tested for all of us here in the USA and the world.